Hi everybody, I don't know where this video is going to take me today. Sorry I didn't do one yesterday. Feeling crap, was feeling crap yesterday, feeling crap today. But I thought I better get up and do something. Otherwise it's hard enough to get momentum going at the best of times. But if you're relying on seeing someone and getting information and they don't turn up, then you lose that momentum, don't you? Not that I think I've got thousands of people out there watching me, tens maybe. It still gives you a bit of fame, I suppose, doesn't it, being on YouTube? But it's not something that I've really been after. As I say, I don't know where this is going to go. Where I feel so crap, you know what it's like. You look at everything negatively. Negatively. Right, there we go. Got there in the end. Have you noticed how much shit is going on in this country in the past 3-4 weeks? And we're just becoming accustomed to it. Today, which is Friday I think it's the 16th of June 2017 for prosperity, there's been another nutty Islamic idiot outside Westminster and police tasered him. There's talk that he had a knife. Whether he had, it hasn't come out in the wash yet. So, talking about coming out in the wash, this Grenfell Tower fire. I'm a bit uncertain about it. I don't know about you guys. I think there's a number of things that could have happened, and it could be any one of them. I think the most likely one that I've heard is that somebody was brewing up some of this cannabis oil, which apparently is notoriously unstable and can just explode, and it was enough to set fire to what has turned out to be flammable cladding they had quite recently put on the outside of the building. The second idea would be that it is unscrupulous landlords, government, I don't know, councillors that want to get the poor people out of the area, want to knock down the flats and put up some nice new expensive places where the rich people can move in. From what I've heard, they've already done that in the surrounding area, and people from these towers aren't even allowed to go in that area. Third option is it could have been an exploding fridge. No, I'm not having that one, sorry. Apart from anything else, an exploding fridge with all the contents and what have you, it's more likely to put out any kind of fire than it is to cause one. So, and the last two are probably linked, and that is one, it could have been a bomb factory, and some of their cooking materials went wrong and went up. I say it's linked because it could have been an attack back at Muslims, or the establishment trying to get the Muslims to look bad again. They don't need any help to look bad, let's be honest, but you never know. The government have done false flags, we know that. They've done a lot of false flags. This one, it sounds like it was intentional, but your guess is as good as mine as to who had the most to gain. Some of the photos coming out of it are so suspect. You have people that are bringing bodies out from a smoking, smouldering, still fires going on building, and they're in white tunics, and there's not a speck of dust on them, nothing, just pure white. If you hear something white at home and you put it on in the morning, if you manage to get out the front door before getting it dirty, you're doing well. So there's a lot of questions to be answered there. But does it do any good to keep questioning it? I don't know. Because it's going to be a cover-up, whatever. Whatever actually happened, you can guarantee you won't hear the truth. They'll probably use one of the other reasons to cover up for the real reason, if you get my drift. We never get told the truth in this country. I don't think we get told the truth in this world. And people, that is what, when you hear, if you haven't seen any of my videos or other people's videos before, this is what we call the awakening. When you start to realise everything isn't as it appears to be. We've been lulled into a false sense of what life is. And for most of us, including myself, that has been a life of lack of money, lack of opportunity, lack of enthusiasm to want to do anything because there doesn't seem to be anything in life to work for. And the only time that seems to be different is if you are born into one of the wealthy families and they're the ones with the power, they're the ones that run the country. I'm not complaining because most of us are like that, the majority of us are like that. I'm just trying to say that I don't think our lives needed to be that way if we'd been told the truth. We don't question anything in this country, and we should question absolutely everything. Everything that we're told we should question. Especially when it comes to the law. The law's an ass. Those people were put in there to do our bidding, basically. And what they do is once they get in there, especially in relatively modern times, they get in there and they just screw us. Screw us for everything that they can get. That includes handing out contracts to will clampers and what have you, which they've had to almost stop because of public outcry. Now we have finally had a public outcry about that, and this will get me onto the pet thing, the pet hate, the bit that has bored me now. So one day I'd like to come down here, sit at this and talk about what a wonderful day I've had and how much I'm enjoying life. But all I seem to do is talk about Islam, Muslims, death, rape, paedophilia. So you have to excuse me, my sinuses are full. I said I'm not feeling great. I hope I don't look as bad as I do on the screen. Yeah. And I'm actually bored of it now. I'm also bored of the lack of response from people. I'm not going to start shouting again. You probably saw my ranting video where I just lost it. That was just everything that I felt inside coming out all in one go. People are awakening. They definitely are awakening, but it's going to be too late, the speed it's going at the moment. In Australia, there's a senator over there. I didn't even know they had senators until I saw that. And she says she's worried for Australia the way what's happening with the Muslims. And she cited Britain as an example of what can happen when nobody does anything. So the world is looking at us and seeing that we are totally fucking it up. And we say we, or I say we. And you're probably thinking, well, it's down to the government. But no, it's not. The government aren't interested. They've got ulterior motives. Everything they do is ulterior motives. And the minute you can understand that, the minute you will begin your awakening. They're not there for us. So the people who've got to do something is me and you. Because if we don't, we are just going to have the most miserable future, even in my lifetime. I don't want to spend my later years wondering whether somebody's going to come and try and chop my head off. Once I get older, I don't think I'll be able to cock the crossbow anymore, even with the blinking pull string on it. So, trouble is, I keep repeating myself, and I think it's obvious I'm not getting to a wide enough audience, and I don't know how to improve that. I can't start up some kind of internet TV thing. I haven't got the finances, haven't got the facilities. Just an ordinary house with a parrot that's actually quiet for once, so I better not speak to him, otherwise it'll set him off. Looks like he's dead, doesn't it? I didn't kill him. Honestly, for those of you like him, he's not dead. If you have a look closely, he's blinking. It only seems to be patriots at the moment that want to do anything. That's men and women, equally as patriotic, but it's not enough, because real patriots that will die for their country, there's not that many, probably, I don't know, 500,000 to 1 million across the country. And then you've got the people that are sort of, yes, I've got a bit of pride in my country, but I'm not going to worry too much. Then you've got the loony left that don't give a damn about anything, and all they want is to live in that fairy tale world with love and sparklers and tinsel coming down instead of rain. Great. I think they'll be waiting a long time before that happens, because what they're going to get is the polar opposite. And they don't know that. But they deserve it. That they deserve everything they're going to get. I've got to admit, I haven't got any sympathy with them, or the tampons, or the loony left. It's just, you know, it's not that difficult to see what's going on. It's your reaction to it, how much you're willing to help stop it. They're not willing to stop it at all. They're in denial. And you guys that aren't in denial and are slowly being awoken, you need to start pinching yourself a bit and start awakening a bit more quickly. I was going through a lot of the groups today, all around the country. Loads of them. Loads of little groups of 100, 150, 200, 1,000. It needs a coordinator to bring the whole lot together. And I know you say, yeah, but it's nationwide, and you've got to get there. I know I keep saying it, but if I can travel up to Sunderland from bloody Sussex, I'm sure that there's not many journeys that couldn't be done in the cause of saving your country, is there? That was for one woman that we did that, and what's happened? She's now got a top lawyer. So what we did worked. And that's people power. And it's not some kind of rebellion or revolution that is wrong. We're actually standing up for ourselves because the government won't. So it's not unlawful. Everybody's scared of the police. And we mustn't be. Have you seen the Muslims scared of the police? No, because they know that all they have to do is start some kind of riot and the police will back off. How many of us are willing to start a riot? Very few, if any. But it's the thought of it that makes the police back off. So I think it probably at least needs a bit of civil disobedience, and not responding to the police every time they shout, jump, you jump. That isn't advocating being violent to the police, because there's no need to be violent to them unless they start smacking you for no reason, because they are actually normal subjects of this country that we have allowed to do the job of policing the country. They have to follow the same laws as us. And if you're standing there and all you're doing is speaking your mind without being threatening, and you get a baton in your mouth, then that police officer has committed a crime. You can actually arrest him. Well, you may be too busy picking your teeth up, but your mates can actually arrest him or demand that he's arrested and make sure that it's followed through. That's what's needed. But I think it's going to happen, but it's just happening on such a slow level that it really could be too late. You do realise that the Muslims or Islamists, they've got a calendar that they have to get a caliphate within 100 years. And that's what they work to. That's what all this jihad crap is about. It's got nothing to do about us invading them and what have you. And that's going to run out in about 2020. Maybe a little bit later. But they're heading for 2020. And that means them taking over everywhere. That's why they're doing this. And it would appear that our governments seem to be allowing them to. Then we get back on to the white genocide, which has been widely publicised on the internet, alternative media. That they don't want the Western civilization people who are generally free thinkers, because they want us dumbed down, want everybody dumbed down. They want a lot less of us, and they want us dumbed down by mixing the races up with the more uncivilised parts of the world. But I'm feeling really shitty, so I'm probably going to leave that there. It's not much of a video really, I suppose, but it might just get you thinking again. The only thing I would say is I am really trying hard for BritishWarriorWithin.com members, but also to include those who are on the Facebook group British Warrior Within the Battle versus Islam, to get a meeting set up in as central a place as I can to where everybody is. So I'm not being funny, if there's one of you in Cornwall, then we're not going to move it right down that way for one person. I'm sorry, I've got to come from Sussex, so I've got to travel miles, whatever. So it will be majority, we'll get it closer to them. I've asked for people to respond to me, to give me numbers, whether they'll be attending. Don't think I've had one reply yet, and I've got 70 odd members on the website and over 500 members on Facebook. I know the 8th of July seems a long way away, but if I'm going to organise it, I need to know what size venue. As I said yesterday, whether I just need a couple of pub stalls or whether I actually need a function room somewhere. Because this is the only way we will move forward, is by getting together, talking about what we should do, people coming up with ideas. I'm not the brainiest person in the world, I'm not stupid by any stretch. But sometimes there are ideas that other people have and you think, fucking hell, why didn't I think about that? And that's what you need sort of other people, lateral thinkers especially, you know, thinking outside of the box. I'm starting to sweat now, guys, so I'm going to call that it. But if you are a member of British Warrior Within, please contact me on the Facebook. You mustn't call it the Facebook. On Facebook or through my email. Anybody who's a member on the site knows my email. Anybody who's a member on Facebook knows where I am on Facebook. That's going to be the 8th of July. It'll be a midday-ish to 1 o'clock start. Give people time to get there, but not get home too late, wherever they're going. And it will be central, so you're looking at Midland-ish area. So please let me know if you watch this. Pass this video on to as many people as you can, because they may think, oh, what's he going on about? But they may go and look back at some of my other videos. They may go and look at other people's videos that come up in related to it. People need to find out. They need to find out what is going on and what we can do about it, because we need to be doing it now, not tomorrow. Right, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to go and die somewhere.